Don't touch her. That's what every boy said after trying. But nobody listened. Until something strange started happening. Her name was Adaora, but everyone on campus called her Ada the Virgin. She was just 19. Soft voice. Always smiling. Always wearing long skirts and neat clothes. She didn't wear makeup. She didn't party. She didn't even hug boys too tight. People said, that girl is holy. Some said, no pastor go marry her. Others laughed, she dey form too much. One day we go catch 'em. But deep inside Adaora, she wasn't pretending. She was raised to stay pure. Her mother always said, your body is not for everybody. Protect it like gold. And so she did. But Ada didn't know she was not just protected, she was marked. One Friday evening after fellowship, a boy named Tope followed her. He was tall, rich, with strong perfume and fast-mouth charm. The kind of boy who gets any girl he wants. Ada, let's chill small, he said, smiling. No, I don't do that, Ada replied, gently. Tope laughed. You think you're better than other girls? I just want to talk. She shook her head and walked away. Tope smiled, but something in his eyes changed. He told his friends, give me 1 week. I go break that girl. That week, Tope started chasing her. He sent her flowers. Bought her food. Texted her every morning. Ada was polite. She said thank you. But never said yes. Everyone noticed. Some girls hissed. Some boys clapped for her. She did try sure, they said. No be today girls day for. Then came Friday again. Tope invited her to a prayer group. He said it was just fellowship, in his hostel. Naive, Ada agreed. If it's for prayer, why not? She came. He locked the door. The room was dark. Just candlelight. Ada, you too fine, Tope whispered, walking close. I want to be your first. Let me love you. Ada froze. This is not prayer. He touched her hand. She pulled back. He tried again, then something shifted. The candle blew out. The window shook, even though it wasn't windy. Tope stopped moving. He held his head. Ada, what's happening? He fell to the ground, screaming. My eyes. I can't see. I can't see anything. He crawled like a baby. Crying. Shaking. The candle caught fire by itself. Ada ran. Her heart pounding. She didn't look back. The next morning, Tope was in the school clinic. He kept repeating. I saw someone standing behind her. It wasn't Ada. It had no face. Just light. Nobody believed him. They said he smoked something. Or maybe faked it. But Tope never went near Ada again. In fact, he left school that semester. That was the first time. Then came the second boy. Then the third. Each one tried. Each one failed. Each one paid. One got into a bike accident the night before their date. Another started vomiting worms in his sleep. One fainted when she said no, and woke up begging her to forgive him. By now, everyone was talking. That girl is not normal. No spirit they follow her. Maybe she's a witch. Or maybe God just they fight for her. But Ada didn't know what to think. She still prayed. Still went to church. Still smiled in choir practice. But late at night, she stared at her ceiling and whispered, God, what's happening to me? Her phone buzzed with DMs from boys saying, I like you. She never replied. Until one message caught her heart. Damale. He was not like the others. He didn't flirt. He sent a Bible verse. He said hi gently. He asked to walk her from church. Not hostile. Ada smiled for real. Something about him made her feel safe. He didn't try to touch her. He didn't force her to talk. They started spending time together. He bought her a small key holder with her name on it. They shared snacks, laughed during worship, sat beside each other during evening prayers. Was this what love felt like? Ada's heart started opening. But something else was watching. One night, Ada dreamed she was in a white dress, standing in a field of fire. A voice said, "You are not allowed to fall." She woke up sweating. She didn't tell Damale. She was scared he would leave. But something told her, if he tries, he will see more than fire. Back on campus, her friends warned her. Men are men. Don't lose guard. Ada, be careful. Even the gentle ones bite. She nodded. But inside her, she still believed Damale was different. She hoped. She prayed. She didn't know. He was starting to get tired of waiting. Why do they always run? Adaora whispered. She stared at her phone screen, shaking. A new text had just come in. From another boy. Please don't talk to me again. What happened to me is not normal. I'm afraid of you. She threw her phone on the bed and covered her face with both hands. This was the third boy to say something like that. And she didn't understand why. Adaora, or Ada as everyone called her, was a church girl. She prayed. She fasted. She stayed away from sin. She never even kissed a boy before. But now, people were talking behind her back on campus. Boys who liked her would come close, then suddenly fall sick. One fainted inside her hostel corridor. Another one started screaming in his sleep, calling her name like he saw something evil. Why? Why was this happening? The sky outside was dark. Rain tapped gently on the window. Her hostel room felt colder than usual. She looked in the mirror, trying to fix her scarf. But for a second, just one quick second, her reflection didn't move. Ada jumped back, heart pounding. She looked again. Everything seemed normal now. She pressed her hand against her chest. God, what is going on with me? That night, her mother called. Ada. Are you okay? You've been quiet lately. Ada hesitated. Mommy. I don't know. Strange things are happening. I think something is wrong with me. Her mother went silent. Very silent. Mommy. Then her mother spoke, but slowly, like someone remembering a dream. Tell me exactly what is happening. Ada told her everything. The boys. The screams. The way her mirror was acting strange. The whispers around campus. When she finished, her mother sighed deeply. And then said something Ada didn't expect. It's happening, just like Mama said. That weekend, her mother came to visit. She brought a small black Bible and an old scarf that belonged to Ada's grandmother. They sat on the bed. Her mother's face looked tired. Old memories sat in her eyes. Ada, she began, you are not cursed. But you are sealed. Ada frowned. What do you mean? Her mother reached for the scarf. When you were a baby, you almost died. You had high fever. The doctors gave up. But your grandmother, Mama Nkechi, took you in her arms, knelt in the kitchen, and prayed a powerful prayer. A vow. Ada's eyes widened. What kind of vow? Her mother looked down. She said, Lord, if you let this child live, let no man touch her until she fulfills her purpose. Lock her if you must. Let angels fight for her. Let the fire of heaven surround her. Ada sat frozen. But why didn't you ever tell me this? I didn't believe it would ever happen, her mother said. I thought it was just prayer. Until now. That night, Ada couldn't sleep. She kept turning and turning in bed, remembering every boy that had tried to get close to her, and how all of them ended up afraid or hurt. Was she really protected by some invisible power? Was it good or dangerous? She turned toward her mirror again. This time, she saw something behind her. A faint white light. Like someone standing in the corner. She blinked. It was gone. Her heart beat fast. But for the first time, she wasn't scared. By Monday, people on campus were whispering loudly. Don't mess with Ada. She's not normal. She's doing something spiritual. I heard she turned someone to stone. Even in church, people stared. One girl even moved away from her seat during choir practice. Ada felt like crying. She didn't ask for this. She didn't want to be feared. She just wanted to be normal. But maybe, she never was. Later that week, Damale, her boyfriend, called her out for lunch. He was handsome, final year, very confident. They had been talking for weeks. She liked him. He was kind, and he respected her boundaries. Until now. As they sat in his car, he looked at her gently. Ada, you know I love you, right? She nodded slowly. Then why are you keeping me away like I'm a stranger? You act like something will fall from heaven if I touch you. Ada's lips trembled. Because something might. He laughed. Babe, come on. I'm not those other guys. I really love you. I believe you, she whispered. But I'm not, like other girls. Damale leaned closer. Then let me prove it. Let's be close. Just once. Ada looked into his eyes. And for a second, just like the mirror, his eyes didn't blink. They looked like someone else's. Something cold moved down her spine. That night, Ada dreamed she was standing in white, in the middle of a burning room. People were shouting. Some were calling her witch. Others were bowing to her. At the center of the fire was a throne. And a voice said, "You are not cursed. You are claimed." I saw something behind her. I swear, there was another person in the room. That was what the last boy said before his mother carried him away from campus, shaking and crying like a baby. Nobody wanted to talk about it anymore. But everybody was watching. And Adaora felt it. Every time she walked into class or past the hostel gates, silence would fall. Whispers followed her like shadows. She's not normal. If you touch her, your life will spoil. Even her boyfriend is still alive because he never crossed the line. But Damale didn't believe all that. At least, not at first. The day that changed everything. That Saturday, Damale took Ada out to a rooftop restaurant. Abuja was glowing with night lights, and soft music played from hidden speakers. He held her hand across the table. His eyes were warm. His cologne was strong. And for the first time, Ada wasn't thinking about Bible verses or Sunday service. She was thinking about him. Ada, he whispered, "I love you." Her heart fluttered. "I've never met anyone like you. You're special." She smiled shyly. Then came the question she feared. "So, when will you finally be mine, fully?" Ada looked away. The traffic far below was quiet, like it knew the answer. "You know I want to, but I'm scared," she said. Damale leaned forward. "Why? Don't you trust me?" She hesitated. Then nodded. "I do." He reached into his pocket and brought out a small necklace, the heart with a tiny silver cross in the center. "Wear this tonight. Let's go somewhere quiet. Just you and me." Room 302 was cool and dimly lit. There were rose petals on the bed. Damale had prepared everything like a movie scene. Ada stood by the door, shaking. "Are you sure?" she asked softly. Damale walked over and touched her shoulders. "I love you, Ada. I would never hurt you." Slowly, she nodded. She let him hold her. She let herself fall. And just as their lips met, everything froze. The darkness begins. The lights flickered. The AC stopped. Then Damale's body jerked like something shocked him. Or, he screamed. He jumped off the bed, staring into the corner of the room. His eyes grew wide with fear. "Ada, who is that?" She turned. There was no one there. "Stop playing," she said, voice shaking. "She's looking at me." "Oh my God, Ada, who is that?" Damele fell to the ground, crawling backward until he hit the wall. His whole body began to shake violently. "Her eyes, she has no eyes." "Ada, she's coming." "Dami, stop. There's no one there." But she couldn't lie to herself anymore. Because when she turned toward the mirror near the bed, she saw it. Her own reflection was smiling. But her real face wasn't. And then the reflection blinked, twice, slowly, like it was watching them both. Damele screamed again and passed out on the floor. Ada ran out of the room barefoot, her heart pounding in her ears. She didn't stop until she reached the street, gasping for air. Her gown was torn. Her hands were shaking. She didn't even know how she got home that night. But by morning, it was already everywhere. Someone had taken a video of Damele in the hospital. He was tied to a prayer chair, screaming Ada's name. "She's not alone. Don't let her touch me. Please." Church members shared it. Then it reached TikTok. Then Twitter. By evening, Ada's name was trending. Hashtag witch girl. Hashtag church virgin curse. Hashtag Damele mad. People started coming to her house. Some brought Bibles. Some brought insults. Some just wanted to see her with their eyes. Her school sent her a message: "You have been suspended indefinitely for spiritual safety reasons." Her church refused to let her back into choir practice. And all the while, Ada sat in her room, staring at her reflection. The mirror was moving. She knew what she saw. That was not her reflection. That was something else. Something deeper. Older. Watching her. Protecting her. Or maybe, warning her. She touched her chest and felt the necklace Damele gave her. It was cold. Just like her heart. She dropped it in the bin and closed her eyes. That night, while lying in bed, she heard a soft whisper. It was not in her ears. It was inside her. "You are sealed. You were never yours." She cried herself to sleep. She didn't want this life. She didn't want this power. She didn't want to be untouchable. She just wanted to love someone. But love, it seemed, would always fear her. Would you still call it a blessing if it left you completely alone? I saw her eyes turn white. I swear. She's not normal. That was the last thing Damele's voice screamed online before the video cut out. Now, Adaora sat alone in her room, staring at the wall. Her phone kept buzzing, but she didn't want to look. The whole school had seen it. The video. The screaming. The fear. Everyone now thought she was something evil. But Ada wasn't evil. She was just tired. 3 days had passed since the night she tried to give her body to Damele. She had felt so much love. She had even prayed and told God she was sorry. But still, something had stopped them. Something inside her. A presence. A power she didn't ask for. And now, everyone thought she was a witch. Her mother knocked gently and entered the room. "Ada," she said softly, carrying a tray of food. "You've not eaten all day." "I'm not hungry," Ada whispered. Mama Ada sat beside her, looking older than usual. "I didn't want to tell you this. But maybe it's time." Ada didn't move. She just listened. "When you were born," Mama said, "your grandmother was a prayer woman. She served God with all her heart. But she also understood old things. Deep things." Ada turned her head slightly. "What kind of things?" "She saw who you were," Mama whispered. "And she made a covenant. A vow. That your body, your life, would be kept pure until your calling began. She sealed it in fasting, prayer, and blood. She said, No hand of man shall defile this one. Heaven will guard her, even from herself. Ada's eyes widened. So that night, what happened to Damale? It wasn't your fault, Mama said gently. The spirit that guards you rose up. It was never you. Tears rolled down Ada's cheeks. But why me, Mama? I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to live. To love. To be like everyone else. Her mother hugged her tightly. You were never like everyone else, Ada. You were chosen before you were even born. That night, Ada didn't sleep. She sat by her window, watching the moonlight dance on her floor. Her body felt cold. Her spirit felt heavy. And yet, there was something inside her that now felt awake. At 3:12 a.m., a soft knock came at the front door. Mama opened it slowly, expecting trouble. But it was a man in white. Older. Gentle eyes. A prophet from her grandmother's old prayer group. He bowed his head. I've come for the girl, he said. The one who has been marked. The next day, Ada sat quietly in the old church behind town. It was nothing like her modern church with microphones and speakers. This one had dust, wooden benches, and candlelight. The prophet stood in front of her. You are not cursed, he said. You are called. I don't want it, Ada whispered. I just want to be normal. The man nodded slowly. That's how every chosen one feels in the beginning. But you cannot run from who heaven made you to be. He placed oil on her forehead. She closed her eyes. And for the first time, she saw it. A vision. People crying. Sick children. A church full of confused faces. A girl, her, standing in white, holding a microphone. And as she sang, people fell to their knees, weeping and being healed. Chains broke. Evil spirits fled. It was her voice, but not her power. It was something beyond. 3 weeks later, the same church that mocked her, that called her evil, was now full of people waiting to see her. Ada stood behind the curtain, trembling. The choir was singing softly. Her old pastor nodded at her from afar. Her mother was in the front row, tears in her eyes. Ada wore a simple white dress. No makeup. No jewelry. Just oil on her head and purpose in her heart. When she stepped out, the whole church went quiet. She held the microphone. Her voice shook. But then, she spoke. I was never trying to be perfect. I was just trying to be faithful. And even when I failed, God never left me. Then she sang. A song her grandmother once sang. The moment her voice filled the air, something shifted. People began to cry. Some fell under power. One woman began to scream as a spirit left her body. Another dropped her crutch and walked. By the time Ada finished singing, even those who once doubted her had fallen to their knees. The same church that once called her strange now whispered, she's anointed. As the service ended, a soft breeze blew through the church. Ada stood silently, tears in her eyes. She was no longer just the virgin girl. She was the voice heaven had been waiting to release. And this was only the beginning. The end.